Here is Chief Meteorologist Chase Jones.
I tell you, it has been such a busy week, and it's only Wednesday. I know we voted for a new mayor, and then we saw a lot of that severe weather make its way through, about 3 inches. It's only Wednesday. San Angelo gives, and as we make our way towards baseball starting tomorrow, I have my eye on a little bit of afternoon thunderstorm activity as we see a beautiful sunset right now, but I'm tracking those temperatures over the last 24 hours to get a better idea of the moisture making its way in. Now, all the way down into those mid-50s last night, made a good run all the way up into those lower 80s, and you see how quickly we're cooling off with some of those winds pushing out of the north, helping some of those clear skies cool us off even faster. So keep the extra layer close, because by tomorrow, only pushing up into the lower 70s. 68 in San Angelo, everybody else in a combination of mid to lower 70s across the entire region, looking for 10 degrees right now. 67 up there in Sterling City, 76 down there in Junction, looking like a good 9 degrees across the entire Concho Valley, unless you want to count Coleman all the way to Ozona, but still inside that 10-degree margin. As long as I can keep my numbers arranged correctly, dew points are down there in those 50s and those 40s, while humidity indices are in those 60s and those 50s. There we go. But a good amount of moisture making its way in despite seeing those northerly winds. Now, moisture trackers showing us a pretty interesting circulation forming around the Gulf. That's going to pull more cold air in from this pocket around sort of the Ohio River Valley into the Concho Valley, and that's going to keep us in those 70s, but gradually warm us back up, and then we're going to push all the way up into those triple digits. Now, the upper level pattern going to show you where this cutoff low is going to keep that pocket of moisture around the Gulf Coast region, but right behind it, that region is going to push us up into the triple digits. Then right behind it, Steve and I are trying to get a better idea of how big of a drop in those temperatures we're going to see, but we're going to be around 100 degrees. So the severe weather, going to see how dynamic it will be. Now, water vapor imagery showing us the monster storm making its way out, but we have our eye on the circulation between Oklahoma and Kansas. The next one hovering around Colorado and Wyoming, and the next one starting to form somewhere over Arizona. So what does this all mean? We have a triple low going on. Not quite sure what it's going to turn into as it starts to make its way down the panhandle, but the futurecast showing us a pretty interesting circulation. Severe weather outlook, finally not the state of Texas, but when we take you down to the surface, we're getting a better idea of these circulations and where severe weather is starting to pop up. And that includes down here in the Concho Valley. Now, get a closer look at some of this development as it tries to work its way in from the south, but I don't think it has enough momentum to fire off. Now, keeping our eye on the afternoon thunderstorms for Thursday, here's a good idea of the thunderstorm activity rolling its way in somewhere around 2 p.m. Then we track it all the way towards around 7 or 8. Now, I don't think it's going to make its way quite up into San Angelo, but we have our eye off somewhere towards Ozona, heading towards Junction. Now, makes its way out of the area down towards the Gulf Coast region. As I swap spots with it, see the circulation hover around Louisiana and Mississippi. Look how much moisture gets pumped into the state of Mississippi, and then it's going to pull all that cold air down from the north into the Concho Valley and then gradually warm us back up. So keep the extra layer close starting tonight, going all the way down into those mid-50s. I'm watching out for some of that cloud cover and the rising moisture. Then tomorrow, we're only getting up into those 70s. Then I'm on the lookout for afternoon thunderstorm activity. But after that, we're on the warm-up with only 4 days to go until Mother's Day, seeing that gradual warm-up into those 80s. As we get closer towards next week, that's when we see that monster jump in temperatures all the way up into those triple digits. But we see the rain return while those overnight lows go from those 50s all the way up into those upper 60s. Stay tuned. We'll have more of the break. You're watching KSAN News at 10.